morning, third graders. My name is Mrs. Horner, or you can call me Mrs. H for short. Today we're going to learn the sign rules for multiplication and division. On this chart, it tells you that same sign, if the numbers have the same sign, it will be a positive answer. And if the signs are different, it will be a negative answer. I've already passed out to you guys this short piece of paper, bright pink for you guys, and it has the 5 steps that we're going to follow to find out whether our answer will be positive or negative. So let's read over these steps real quick, and then we'll do a couple of examples together. Step number 1, we're going to circle our signs. Step number 2, we're going to draw our eyeballs. Step number 3, we put the signs in our eyeballs. So if there's a positive number, we put a positive in the eyeball, okay? And step number 4, if the signs inside of the eyeball are the same, it will be a happy face and a positive nose, which means it will be a positive answer. Step number 5 is if the signs in your eyeballs are different, it will be a sad face and a minus for the nose, which means that the answer will in fact be a negative answer. That's a lot of information. So let's go ahead and just work a couple of problems together, and you'll see it's super simple, okay? Example number 1, we have a positive 9 multiplied by a positive 5. Step number 1, we are going to circle our signs. So we circle and circle. Step number 2, we're going to draw our eyeballs. Step number 3, we are going to put these signs inside of our eyeballs. Now we have to ask ourselves, are these signs the same or are they different? For this example, they are the same. So we will add a happy face and a positive nose, which indicates that our answer will be positive. Now we simply multiply the numbers. 9 times 5 is 45. And I know that this is going to be a positive 45 because our nose tells us that it will be. All right, let's try another example. We have a positive 3 multiplied by a negative 8 equals. Step number 1, we are going to circle our signs. All right, step number 2, draw your face. Or just draw your eyes, not your face, because we don't know if it's going to be a happy or sad yet. So we just draw our eyes first. Then we put in our 2 signs that we circled. First I circled a positive, and then I circled a negative. Are these signs the same, or are they different? They are different. So as it says here, they are different. It will be a sad face. We're going to put a sad face and a negative for the nose, which indicates that your answer will be negative. So we simply multiply our numbers now. 3 times 8 equals 24, and our nose tells us it will be a negative 24. Let's do one more multiplication problem. Negative 10 multiplied by a positive 2 equals. First, we're going to circle our signs. Second, we draw our eyes. Third, we put our signs that we circled in our eyeballs. Now guys, I want you to look at these 2 problems. The one we did just this past time and the one we're working on now. They both have different signs, but in the last problem we did, the positive was first and the negative was second. In the problem we're working now, the negative is first and the positive is second. Does that matter? Let me tell you, it does not matter. The only thing we need to focus on is that if the signs are the same or if they are different. And in this case, the eyeballs are different. They have different signs in them. So it's going to be a sad face, even though the negative is first. That does not matter at all. And when it's a sad face, we know that we have a minus sign for our nose, which indicates that our answer will be negative. So 10 times 2 is 20, and it's going to be a negative 20. Let's do a couple of examples for division. Clear this. Okay. We have a negative 21 divided by a negative 3 equals. Step number 1, we're going to circle our signs. Step number 2, we're going to draw our eyeballs. And step number 3, we're going to put these signs in our eyeballs. The rules for multiplication and division are exactly the same. So we're following the same rules no matter if you're multiplying or dividing. So we're going to put these two signs in our eyeballs, and they are both negative. Now, are these signs the same? And they look the same to me. So we're going to put a happy face, and our nose will be positive because, as it says here, the same sign will always be a positive answer. So 21 divided by 3 is 7, and we know that it will be a positive 7 because our nose indicates that. Let's try one last problem together. Positive 64 divided by a negative 8 equals. Step number 1, we're going to circle our signs. Circle, circle. Now, 2, we're going to draw our eyes. Now, these signs in our eyeballs. It's a positive and a negative. Are these signs the same? You have to ask yourself that so that you can see if it's going to be a happy face or a sad face. And because these eyeballs do not look the same, it's going to be a sad face. And our nose will be a minus, which indicates that our answer will be a negative. Now we simply divide these two numbers, and 64 divided by 8 is 8. And our nose tells us that it will be a negative 8. Great. So I feel like we've done quite a few problems together, and I'm going to write a few problems, just 5 of them, on the board for you guys to work on your own. You can go ahead and flip to the next page in your math journals. Make sure that your pencil is still sharp, and I'm going to write these up quickly for you guys. Number 1 is a positive 40 divided by a positive 4. Number 2 is negative 12 times positive 3. Number 3 is positive 6 times a negative 4. Number 4 is a negative 16 divided by negative 2. And number 5 is a negative 10 times a positive 10. Okay guys, I'm going to put a timer for about 7 minutes for you guys. Once that timer goes off, we'll go ahead and work these together. If you have any questions, I'll be roaming around the classroom to see how you guys are doing. And don't hesitate to raise your hand if you have a question. I want you guys to make sure that when you're working these problems, you're using your tools that I just gave you with your faces. So make sure you go step by step, refer back to these steps, step by step, okay? All right, guys, 7 minutes are up, and we're gonna go over these problems rather quickly together. I want you to check your answers, check your work to make sure that you're doing what I'm doing, so that if it matches what I'm doing, then you're on the right track. If you're not, then you know what, we'll talk about it, okay? So step 1 is circle your signs. Step 2, draw your eyes. We're gonna put our signs in our eyeballs. These are the same sign, so it will be a happy face and a positive nose, which means that our answer will be positive. 40 divided by 4 is 10. And our nose tells us that it will be a positive 10. So I hope everyone got a positive 10. If you didn't, we'll talk about it, okay? Number 2, circle your signs. Draw your eyes. Put your signs in. First it was a negative, then it was a positive. These are not the same, guys. So we're gonna have a sad face, which means a negative nose. Now we just simply do the math. 12 times 3 is 36. And our nose tells us that it will be a negative 36. Number 3, circle your signs. Draw your eyes. Put your signs in your eyeballs. Now these signs, are they the same or are they different? They're different, so it's going to be a sad face and a minus for the nose. 6 times 4 is 24, and our nose tells us that it will be a negative answer, a negative 24. All right, we're going quickly. Circle our signs for number 4. Draw our eyeballs. Then we're going to put our signs that we circled inside of our eyeballs. These signs, they are the same, and so it's going to be a happy face with a positive nose, which means our answer will be positive. Whatever our nose is going to be our answer. So 16 divided by 2 is 8, and our nose tells us it's a positive 8. Let's look at number 5. Circle your signs, draw your eyeballs. It's a negative and then a positive, so negative, positive. Are they the same? They are not, so it's going to be a sad face with a minus nose. That means that our answer will be a negative. 10 times 10 is 100, and our nose tells us that it is a negative 100. Okay guys, so we went over quite a few examples together. You had some time to do it on your own, and this evening I'm going to erase just number 1 so I can write this up for you guys. This evening though, I would like you all to work the problems using the new sign rules on page 153. So let me write that up here, page 153. You're going to work those in your textbooks, your math textbooks. You're going to work problems 1 through 12. 1 through 12. And you're going to do this on your own sheet of paper. I want to see all of your work. So I want to see that you do all of these steps. You're going to circle your signs. You're going to draw your eyes. You're going to draw your face. You're going to multiply or divide those numbers. Do it all for me. And then, so just to recap for you guys, today we learned the sign rules for multiplying and dividing numbers. Tomorrow during our math block, we will revisit the sign rules quickly and then move on to solving one step and two-step problems using multiplication and division again.